Okay, episode number 79 to begin 2026. Well, Johnny Roberts, welcome to 2026.
What the heck? Isn't that crazy? Where's the
That
flying
is,
cars at?
I know exactly. Yeah, they're around somewhere.
If you watch Back to the Future in 1989, one of my favorite movies, Part Two,
Yeah.
they're supposed to have flying cars in 2015. You remember
Oh,
that?
really?
You ever watch that movie?
A long time ago. I remember the first one. I think I probably watched the second one once or
Yeah,
twice.
they go in the future and
Yeah.
they go to 2015, which
Wow.
back then seemed like so far away, of course.
Yes.
But they had flying cars in 2015, and it's interesting that we never did. And here we are
Yeah.
11 years after that. But some of the things they had in that movie, we actually have. Like they had flat screen TVs and these little things that could heat up food real fast, kind of like
Like a microwave.
or microwaves or whatever it
Yeah.
may be. But yeah, here we are. No flying cars yet. But we do have cars that don't need people to drive.
Yeah. I saw one of those the other day. I was in Austin, Texas, and I saw this thing. I'm like, what is that? It was a Waymo. Is that what it's called? A Waymo? And
Something like that. I'm not really sure I want to get involved in that.
it'd be kind of
Especially,
weird to hop in and have no driver to go,
yeah, the taxi cabs and stuff or whatever. There's no
Yeah.
driver.
Yeah.
Or self-driving cars. I want to be in control. Just like you want
Uh,
to be in control of your retirement, right, Mike?
absolutely.
You do not want someone else driving your retirement vehicle. You know what I mean? You want to
Yep.
have
Well,
the
and
hands on the wheel. You can get some guidance. We can use GPS to help us, but
yeah,
I do not want
I
to
love it.
have no one else driving. Isn't that a
Well,
great segue?
that's a great segue. I love that. You've been doing this long enough now.
We
You're
went
getting
from
into the
Back to the
segue thing.
Future to
Uh,
retirement within like three sentences.
I love it. That's great. Because one of the things that where people give up the controls is when they believe the you just need $1 million or $4 million. What's your number? And they think that having money in the bank or in a 401k, that's a retirement plan. I've got money. They look at their statement. I've got money. But the reality is a retirement fund is not a retirement plan, right?
Yeah, and me and you kind of talked about this just
Yeah.
off air or whatever, but it's kind of like, you're gonna go build a house and it's like, well, I got all the two by fours, but I don't have any way, no plan to really put them together to make this house work. So
Right.
I have all the resources, perhaps. I have the tools and I have the, all the wood and everything, but I'll just grab a hammer, drill, and just start going at it, and hopefully it works out.
Yeah.
And that's really not the way to build a house.
All right.
And that's not the way to kind of plan your retirement. So we have the resources. And what do we generally do when we're building a house? Yeah, sometimes we can do it on our own, but we sit down and we try and plan something with the builder or whatever that can help give us instruction that'll show us the best place to put the bathroom, the best place to
Right.
put the bedroom, where all the support beams need to go out for the house and all that kind of stuff, the electrical boxes, everything like that to build a house that we're is going to make us, have a great place to live.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
the retirement funding going into 2026, it's a good time to, hey, let's take a second look here and see if I have a plan, or do I just have all this money and I really don't have a plan. I know I have to take it out when I need to. I have required minimum distributions if it's an IRA. We talked about life insurance leading up to this year. I think I'm going to leave this money to kids. Hopefully, if I pass away, wife will get this money or husband, whatever it may be. But we really need to start with maybe a review of the blueprint.
Right.
And what's cool is, just like in houses, you can do remodeling. You know what I
I
mean?
love it. Yeah.
Kind of like, you know what? Life has changed. I need another bathroom. I need to make this room bigger. I don't have kids living at home anymore, so I can change how this room is utilized. Whatever it may be. I want to add the deck on or, add a piece to my house I haven't had all these years, so I'm going to add this sunroom on, whatever it is, right? And so I want to make changes to my house that I've already
Hmm.
built. You can do that. I have the tools to do it, so I can do
Right.
that if I plan properly. Same thing with all of our retirement plans, right? I've kind of built this house. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. I don't know. But, maybe I need to have someone take a look, or I need to take a
Right.
look.
That's right.
Do I need to make changes? Do I need to add a room? Do I? need to maybe update my electrical box,
Yeah.
whatever it is. I mean, we just had this thing in the summertime. I might have talked about it, but our sump pump went out whenever we were up north camping, and the power went out.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't here, so the sump pump shut down. So we come back, basement's flooded. We had carpet down there,
Oh,
and ruined our whole basement flooring. The vinyl flooring we had, the carpet, all done. Some of the drywall. And so what I had to do was reevaluate my strategy on my sump pump situation if the power went out.
yeah.
So I brought someone in who had some ideas, and they have this new sump pump that you can utilize that's powered by water, which means city water's hooked up to it. So if your power goes out and the water starts to rise in your sump pump, there's a valve that switches and makes it so the city water operates your sump pump. So then it turns it on and pump water out. So if you
That's awesome.
it's really cool. And I heard about this from my great neighbor across the street. But so I had to reevaluate
Yeah.
because I never heard of it though.
I'd never heard
So
of that.
I don't know what I don't know, but I brought in a professional and was like, what can you do here? My
Yeah.
neighbor says you have this going on. Uh, What can you do over here? And so that now I know that if we're ever gone and power goes out because of storm and it's out for 5 hours and it's pouring rain and that sump pump ain't operated, well now I know it will operate.
That's right.
So I'm not gonna
Oh,
let it
that's so
run down.
cool.
Isn't that pretty cool?
That
Yeah.
is
So,
really cool.
but I heard someone else that had it, and I brought someone in to take a look, and I
Yeah.
updated my house
That's
just in
great.
that small thing. That little thing I had to change will totally affect my whole house situation.
Well,
Right?
and your peace of mind next time you take a trip. And that's the
Absolutely.
beauty of having a retirement plan is it brings you peace of mind and comfort.
Yeah, it starts out by realizing that, well, I maybe need to make a change. And so maybe you're listening to this and you're like, my sub pump's not like this. Recommend you go call someone in and ask them about it, first of all.
Yeah.
But on the retirement side of things, you know, look at it like, I need to take a look at this because if something happens, a huge market drop, or someone passes away, or gets sick, or whatever it may be, is my sump pump going to work? As far as
Yeah.
retirement, you know what I mean? Is it going to
Right.
work to where I'm going to have peace of mind because I can get through this situation so my basement doesn't flood and ruin all this stuff down there. We had stuff that was ruined, and all that kind of
Oh, yeah.
thing. And so retirement wise, and it wasn't a huge change. It wasn't a super costly change.
Right.
It was something simple. Bringing in someone to take a look, and that one transition that I made will change my peace of mind and problems when the storms hit.
Yeah, because that the guy you brought in was a second opinion, but he also had a tool. He had a vehicle that you didn't know anything about. And I think as we think about retirement planning, it's so important to work with you, Johnny, and your team because you have vehicles and tools that a lot of people don't even know exist. And if you're trying to do something in retirement, whether that's guaranteed income for life or leaving a legacy or paying fewer taxes, whatever, Johnny has tools that you may not know exist that Johnny can add to your retirement plan to help you retire at new heights, right?
Oh, absolutely. And that's the whole objective is sometimes it's just a small tweak.
Yeah,
It could be adding a generator, right? So that I'm not
100%.
home, will the generator kick on automatically? Well, there's things you could do to make that happen.
That's right.
There's things you can do to protect your house so that peace of mind's there. Same thing with your retirement plan. It can be small tweaks. Sometimes it's not talking about adding on rooms and all this kind of stuff. Sometimes you have to make drastic changes.
Yeah,
But a lot of times, if you look at it, because you've got the foundation built, and it's okay, just a few small tweaks
right.
can give you peace of mind because I never thought that would happen to me. I
That's
don't
right.
even think about it. It's like, a huge rainstorm, power goes out, sump pump that's not going to work, and all of a sudden my whole basement's ruined.
Yeah.
Drywall had to be replaced, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And you just don't think about that stuff, right? But it happened when I was gone.
That's right.
And so I couldn't address it right then myself because I wasn't there. And that's how life can be with our retirement too. There's things we're not going to have control over that if they happen,
Yeah.
it causes damage. So how do I get control over those situations? It's by looking around, seeing what's out there that in the worst case scenario, I can still have peace of mind. And it's sometimes just little dinky tweaks going
Right.
into 2026 here. Man, take a look at things. I don't know what your situation is, so I can't sit there and be specific. Like you got to
Right.
have this or that or whatever. But it's coming in and saying, hey, these are the threats against your home.
Yep.
You know, that if you're gone or out of town or this happens or that happens, of what can cause damage, here's three or four little tweaks. Sometimes it's we need to make an addition or we need to rebuild this room. Take out, go all the way to the studs.
That's right.
Redo this room. Sometimes it's that, but a lot of times it's just simple little tweaks
Yeah.
that can protect you from fires, from floods, from things like that, that are going to come our way literally in our house or in the general
And
concept of our retirement planning. So
yeah.
2026 is a great time early in the year to, I know we're not maybe thinking about it, but hey, in the next few weeks and next month or 6, 7 weeks or whatever, sit down. I'd love to be able to help you, but whatever we do is let's sit down and take a look at, man, if it rains real hard on your retirement plan, right
Yeah.
now you got no backup for your sump pump.
That's right. That's a great analogy, man. That's going to
So
stick with my mind and probably others. Is it doesn't take many times big tweaks. Sometimes it does, but most of the time it's little things to help you have more income, pay fewer taxes, leave a legacy, whatever you, however you determine to retire at new heights. Johnny has the resources, the tools, the teammates to help you get there. You just need a conversation. That's why we always say go get a copy of his
it,
book.
yeah, and guess what? That storm lasted 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
The power was only out for like 3 or 4 hours,
Yeah.
and that downpour was only so it wasn't like it can be a quick little thing that happens
Yeah.
that can really screw up a lot of things. So that little dinky time frame of that storm and that sump pump being out caused damage that took a long time to fix.
That's right.
It was like if you take damage in your retirement plan because the market crashes or global situations, well, it takes a long time to recover and get back. And
Yeah.
sometimes you can't even do it properly. So preventative
Yeah. Protection.
things,
Protection.
protection will help you be able to do that. So that is my 2026 analogy. It's the year of the sump pump repair. Um, you
I
know,
love it.
so
All right.
look for that if you don't have that, or use it for your retirement planning. And let's say, hey, if the floods come or the rains come, power goes out just for a few hours, what kind of damage can it do, and what can I do to prevent it?
That's right. Well, we're going to talk a lot about prevention and correction and all of that throughout 2026 here on your podcast. So make sure you're
Yes, sir.
subscribed. Make sure you like this thing so you get every new episode every week. Get a copy of Johnny's best selling book at his website, retireatnewheights.com, and schedule a time so that he can help you. Johnny, the sump pump repairman for your retirement plan, he's going to help you make sure that you're protected well so that you can retire at new heights. Johnny, so good to be with you for another year. I can't wait, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Enjoy.